All right, everybody, welcome back to another recording with some of our fabulous guests. If you've been watching in the private Facebook group or YouTube or podcast, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you found us. You are the reason why we do everything we do here. And my goal, really, with the series that we're doing right now, is that you will be prepped, that you will know exactly that what you need to do to excel and be with us in 2025 when we're like toasting and sharing about how we succeeded in the recession. So, as part of that, I have an amazing guest with me here, and it is the one and only frugal physician, aka Disha Shah. How are you?
Hey, yes, I'm fine. I'm Disha Spath. I was from the Frugal Physician, and now I'm the White Coat
What?
Investor Ambassador.
Hello, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here, Ladpat. I've been following you for a long time, and I saw you speak a couple of times. I'm like, I love this girl already. So I'm so
No,
happy to talk to you.
you're the person that I wish we could just schedule an hour to like hang out, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you all about her. So this is the second time we tried to do
Yeah,
this. First time
the first time I
she's like, you're not on my calendar. I'm like, I'm waiting for you. She's not on your calendar. So if I'm gonna hang out with you for an hour, I need to make sure like I piss myself in red on your calendar. No,
Oh,
welcome.
I'm so sorry about that.
Whatever. No, it's happening exactly how it's meant to. And thank you. I know your life is busy. You're getting ready to go do stuff in your day. So thank you for being here with us. It truly, truly is an honor. And I want to emphasize again that every single person that I've interviewed as part of this are here to give value, to help. And I think it's really incredible that you're choosing to give us 30 minutes or whatever amount of time. Well, we've been chatting for like 20 something minutes, but whatever amount of time of your day, it shows that you care about physicians and you want to give to us. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, I mean, honestly, the only reason I do this is because I genuinely want to keep sharing because I think it's so important that we all share of our journeys, especially our money journeys, because they are not talked about. Um, and scary. It's scary to share, but I'm here and I really hope this is valuable to someone coming up behind me that, that hasn't walked my footsteps yet and hopefully can make better decisions than I did.
Well, you're here, so you must not have done too badly. So before we go
I somehow
further,
made it.
though, oh, so before we go further, I want you to share with us if someone is here, they're like, okay, well, yeah, Widow, she's beautiful, or she sounds amazing on the podcast, but why should we listen to you? Like, why do we, like, who are you? Why should we, what do you have to give?
Okay.
Because you know
Yeah,
how our attention span is as humans these days.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So I started writing about finance when I decided that I was a total idiot about finances. I was in my first year or actually second year of attending Hood, and I realized we were drowning in debt and we needed to fix something. And I realized I had fallen for a lot of myths about money that just weren't true. And we had inflated our lifestyle. We had thought that we'd be just fine because we had a doctor's salary in the house. That was not true. I realized that I was making decisions out of scarcity and missing out of the on the best moments with my baby. I spent most of my maternity leave sewing the cover to a couch instead of spending it with my child. Like that was the whole point. But I was too scared to spend money to really enjoy it. And I needed to be present, and I needed money to be a tool for me and not something that was holding me back like it was. So anyway, I started learning about money. I started writing about money. My husband and I went on a journey of debt payoff and building our assets and working towards financial independence. And we just learned so much along the way. It was so fun. We made it a family effort to pay off debt, and we paid off $100,000 in 6 months. And at that point is when I wrote my first article, because I was like, this is amazing. And it's so simple. Like, why aren't more people doing this? Why did it feel like we had to keep all this debt when we didn't really have to? So we made some tough decisions and made some big changes and started paying off stuff. And then, we still took on more debt, different kinds of debt, mortgage debt, to expand our real estate and build more income that way. So really just really fine-tuning the income side, fine-tuning the expenses side, the spending side. And I've been writing about it now for 3 or 4 years. At the Frugal Physician, I have a column at Practice Link magazine as well for finances. I've written for CNBC, and with their collaboration with Acorns, I just now I'm at the White Coat Investor talking to physicians about finance, and co-hosting the White Coat Investor podcast and hosting the Milestones to Millionaire podcast. So that's why I'm here.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. No, what I love is this. So when I think about all the people that I have, we're mixed bag. I have interviewed people for this series that hate that, right? And I have interviewed people that are like, oh, what is that? And the key is there's so many ways to do this. There's no one size fits all. And part of why I'm doing this, and if you're listening on the podcast, there's going to be a worksheet that goes with all those videos. I want you to, at the end of all these conversations, have your own plan. That's the goal. I want you to have your own plan, not my plan, not anybody else's plan, but your plan. That's the goal at the end of this. So I love, love, love that you told us how your journey started, because it can be overwhelming for a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've shared my journey as well. And how I knew nothing. I was hiding about money. I didn't even know how much I freaking owed.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much my student debt was. I didn't know what I owed. I just knew there was some Auntie Sally that was sending me letters, and I would like sign forbear or defer, whatever got it out of my face, right?
Worst aunt ever.
Right? But the key is this: regardless of where you are right now, it is not too late. Regardless of how hard you've been thinking it was. In fact, I tell people that if it was hard, we would have figured it out by now. The reason why we haven't is because it's actually simpler than we think. So bring it down. It's not up there. It's down here. It's possible for everybody. So I love, love, love that introduction.
Absolutely. Yeah. Paying off debt was an easy starting point for us because I didn't know about investing. I needed to learn about investing, but I knew that I could, at least start a spreadsheet and know our income and income and expenses, and, start putting money towards debt. So that was a very easy place to start. And in that first year and a half where we were paying off my student loans, I learned about finances. I got over the hump of being fearful of it, and in that process started making changes in the way we were investing. I actually logged into my 401k and chose investments. Those kind of things. And there's a huge barrier to entry there just because it's fear driven. There's just not something that we've learned about. We think people only finance people in Wall Street can read a fund prospectus. Not true, right? If you just look at it, it's actually pretty self-explanatory. But again, there's just a lot of fear there, and we think we're not able to do that, but we're totally able to do that because, like you said, it's actually much simpler than medicine. It's much simpler than we think it is.
Absolutely. We think it's all the way up there, but it's actually down here. So don't look up. Don't it's going to be hard. Like, this stuff must be simple. That's the only reason why I don't have it yet. So how simple is it? Really? That simple? Like, that mindset can change everything for you when you're starting.
Agreed.
So let me ask you this question. I want you to imagine you're hanging out with, I don't even know if you have siblings or not, but let's imagine you're hanging out with your sister, one you actually like, not the one that's annoying. And you want her to be fabulously well in 2025. By the way, I have this picture of a party in 2025 that I'm going to be throwing, and I actually think I'm going to do it. It is a party where we're going to be celebrating doing well, even in the recession. I have a plan. I see it's like a Nigerian wedding. I don't care what kind of weddings you've been to. If you haven't gone to a Nigerian wedding or an Indian wedding, you have not partied yet, right? So that's the picture that I have in my mind, like celebration, joy, gratitude, and all that stuff. And so I want you to think of your sister, and you want her to be invited to that party. What are the things you would want her to do to be prepped for the recession?
All right. Perfect. So, I think for a recession means the economy is not doing that great. Our stocks might be down. My thinking about recession planning is that you just need to have enough of a cushion to not have to sell things. have enough of a cushion to not have to pull your money out of the stock market, because right now is a great time to be getting into the stock market because stuff is on sale. You're going to get so much more stock for that $1,000 that you're putting in every month, right? So this is a great time to build assets in that way, but it's a terrible time to take out the assets or have to take out the assets. So make sure, what I'm doing is to make sure I have a good enough emergency fund that's accessible, so that I can sleep well at night, knowing that, even if we do badly one month, we can make it up the next month. We don't have to pull money out of the stock market. Same thing with investment properties. We also have a couple of rental properties. Yeah, tenants don't pay rent sometimes. Things break down. We have had our basement almost collapse, or rather, the entire building structure was threatened for a second there. It was pretty scary because somebody decided to put fish tanks on one beam in this old 1900s townhouse downtown, and of course the beam started cracking. So anyway, so that was another $10,000 that just had to be spent right then, right? And to have enough cushion to make sure that we can cover any emergency like that. We can cover any emergency we have personally. My husband had to have heart surgery this past year, $200,000 hospital bill, and that was all of a sudden he popped a cord in his mitral valve. Anyway, yeah, so again, so important to have a plan in place, because and this has really been key for us. Thank God he's a veteran and they ended up covering it through the VA. But we had an HSA. I could at least sleep at night knowing that I didn't have to worry about our family going under or going into credit card debt during this process, right? So it's incredibly important to have some sort of a cushion that's accessible. Some people keep their emergency fund in the stock market and money market, whatever. But know that this is your emergency fund. We're not spending this on frivolous stuff. This is our fund to have so we can sleep well at night and cover the emergencies. That's step one. And
can I ask you some questions about that step one?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when you're talking about having it easily accessible, can you tell us a little bit more about what does that mean? And before you answer that, I'm sorry to hear about I'm sorry about last year.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad he's doing well.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you had the good coverage. But I think this is part of why it's so important for us to take care of the money stuff before things happen, because
Yes.
life is going to happen. And imagine going through all that and having to worry extensively about the money stuff as well. But when the money stuff is at least taken care of, not perfectly, but in some ways, there is those things in mind, you're able to focus on the things that are more important than money, which is the lives in front of you, the relationships in front of you, and being well. So I'm glad you've done the preps. I'm sorry that happened, and I'm glad that he's doing better now.
Thank you. Yeah. And, I'm so glad we got our stuff together before all this happened so that we were prepared. Like you said, of course you can never be prepared for a super emergency like that. And there was a lot of emotional thing, a lot of relationship issues we needed to work through. And thank God, we were able to do that without having to worry about money. And make it over to the other side. What I mean by accessible money is money that you can access within a few months. Within a month, probably, so that you don't start accruing credit card debt. I mean, yes, you could put something on a credit card, but once you don't pay it off at the end of the month, it starts accruing interest at 19-20%. And so that's the goal, is not to do that. So where are some ways you can have money? You can have money in just a savings account, but those don't pay very well. They hardly keep up with any kind of inflation, and that's there are better places to put the money. You can do money market funds. You can do a high yield savings account. Places like Ally, and I'm forgetting there are other banks that do it. You can put it in CDs. They have no penalty CDs. That's where I keep my emergency fund, as a no penalty CD at Ally, and that held the interest rate at least a little bit higher before everything started dropping. The good thing about inflation is the high yield savings accounts are starting to go back up again, and the interest they're giving us. So there's that. There are I bonds. People put money into I bonds too right now, but you have to know that it's tied up for at least a year there. So that's not accessible money, at least for that first year.
I'm curious. Did you buy some I bonds? I
did not.
Good.
No, I did not
High
either.
Five. And I honestly, maybe we should schedule another episode about talking about I-bonds. I think there's value to it. And if you don't know what that is, that's completely fine. You can put your earmuffs on. But I think that there's so much running after it that it's good for certain things. It's good for certain people. But if your money is emergency fund or invests, there's no room for I-bonds. But if you need money in the next couple of years, you're thinking about your kids' educational funds and you want something that's going to have some sort of growth, yes. But, it's really interesting. I think it's so overhyped, but it's great for the government because they need the money.
Yeah, it's true.
They need the money.
Yeah, it is good for the government. You're right.
Yeah.
I think you should match your investment to your time horizon of when you need that money. If you need that money in a year or two, because that I bond was going to cycle, and you'd be able to get the money out after a year, up to 5 years. And if that's what you are trying to invest for, then it's a great investment, right? But I'm not gonna put money into I bonds that I need for my backyard renovation, for example, that we're doing, because I'm going to need that money like in 6 months. So that's not going to work for me.
I love it. I love it. High five.
Yeah. And, then long-term investing, it doesn't quite make sense for long-term investing. I for my retirement accounts or anything. I don't believe in short-term, yield chasing. It's too much effort, and it's too much mental space.
Okay. Double high five. 100% agree with you. If you have one, and that's personal finance is personal, right? But there's a lot of talk about why it's amazing. And if you're not doing it's like it's nice something for 6 months, and then it's going to change, and then it's going to change. And that's fine. But I think one thing that I'm sensing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we don't take care of our money so that we can worry about our money.
Exactly.
We take care of our money so we can live our life. So if I have to care about what your interest rate is in 6 months, so I can maybe decide, and it's just too much work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Plus, you have to pay taxes on it. All that 9% yield, you're gonna have to pay 30% tax on it.
I don't do too much medium term. If it's going to be medium term, it has to be something that's cash flowing for me. If it's like a syndication that I'm investing in, that I know I'm going to probably get my money back in 3 to 5 years, I want it to be giving me some money now as cash flow, not put the money in the government's hands for 5 years, 3 to 5 years, with the intent that I don't even know. And it's over the course of that time frame. It's like, is it like 12 months, right? Is what the interest is. So it's not like, all right. That's a bonus for you. If you did not do I bonds, you're in great company. If you did I bonds, you're in great company. But there's no FOMO here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's another tool, and absolutely, you're not finding 9% guaranteed rates anywhere else. And if you have a short-term goal that you're trying to meet within the next 1 to 5 years, then, or 3 to 5 years, whatever, then perfect. This is a really good vehicle for you, but it's not for everyone. So anyway, what's the next question?
Next question is, is that all you're going to tell your sister? Is that going to get her to 2025 party that we're planning with all the champagne glasses and the music and the fabulousness? All right.
Okay. So what's the next thing I'm going to tell her? I'm going to tell her to make sure to take care of her student loans. And we're recording this on October 28th. So the deadline for the PSLF consolidation is coming up. So 1031. So right now is a really important time to pay attention to student loans, and to make sure that you have the right price for you, because there's so many different caveats at the moment. There's a PSLF waiver, there's an IDR waiver, there is the Sweet versus DeVos settlement that is actually just wiping out people's debt, like from Ross University. Amazing. They just announced people working for-profit employers that were made to do so because of state law in places like California and Texas can actually get their student loans qualified for PSLF, which is humongous.
No, I can't wait for it. I think there's going to be more coming up in January or so. I was reading about that recently.
Yeah.
There's so many changes. I cannot even keep track of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm very, very thankful for the steps the government's taking to address the student loan crisis that we have, or was on the horizon. Hopefully, we can sort of, diminish the crisis portion of it and get people back on track. And I paid off my student loans, but I'm kind of resentful for the fact that I didn't benefit from it. But you know what? I'm really, really freaking thankful for everyone else that's getting the help that they need, because then it's good for all of us, because then our economy doesn't collapse, because this is a huge, huge portion of our economy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
good for physicians. I paid mine off too. I wanted to pay it
Yeah.
off in 5 years. I did it in 2.5 years or so. But I'm like, please, I want all y'all. Like, I want you to have money, because when you don't have to worry about your student loans, now you get to have the cash to put into investments, right? And
Exactly.
that way we get to have more women physicians ahead, and we can close some of those gaps that exist. So
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So have a student loan plan. And then, like, Latifat said, we have to invest. We have to invest. It's not an option, because we have such high inflation, especially because the stocks are on sale right now. Like, girl, go get that sale, right? Because we have to invest in order to have enough of a nest egg to get our family to that comfortable spot that we want to be in, where we can we can live our life, you can spend what we want, and we don't have to worry about the roof over our head. We don't have to worry about the creditors coming after us. We don't have to worry about seeing 10 more patients next week because I have to meet this RVU minimum, and I have to churn them out. We can practice like we want to. We can give each patient the time that they deserve. We can make our medicine better. We can make our family lives better. We have to invest, because that's how we get money working for us. So I would tell her to make sure that she is looking into her retirement accounts, looking into all the other retirement accounts that she could be eligible for, like a backdoor Roth or an HSA. Maybe start a small business and start, a solo 401k. But really just start maxing out all those pre-tax retirement accounts that you can access, and then learn a little bit about stock investing. Not a lot, because it's overwhelming if you start getting into trying to day trade. Okay, day trading, no one has time for it except for people that are finance professionals. Doctors don't have time for day trading generally, not to do it well anyway. So think about long-term investing and just start putting a little bit of money each month into that. And how do we get that excess cash to put into our investments? Well, we have to track what we're spending. We got to know our eyes and nose. We have to know what the delta is, and then put that delta to work. Don't spend everything that you make, and put that delta to work.
I love it. I love it. Those were so, so good. And honestly, when you think about it, it's what we're spending matters. Having a plan for our student loans definitely matters. And if you don't know what to do about your student loans, there's lots of information online. I'm also going to include the company that I'm an affiliate to as well, the student loan planners. And they are everything that I know is literally from reading their blogs when it comes to this. And they're like, there's more update. I'm like, nobody can keep track of this. So I know that it does cost money to speak with someone and talk to someone, but it's so worth it when you think about the hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially that you could have saved. And I think it's so worth it. So I love that you included that as part of the plan. And also then making sure that you invest in something, and you can start with even your 401k, your 403b, your 457, right? And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. That's why we're here, to help you learn, right? All that stuff. And also, even outside of retirement, now also planning for how you're going to invest in other things. I don't know if I've shared already, but we literally bought a property 2 months ago that was like 6 figures more 2 months before that. Right.
Wow.
And everybody and their mamas are hiding because interest rates are high. Interest rates are high. And I'm like, fantastic. Y'all are hiding.
Less
Guess who is? Let's
competition.
come out and play when it's raining. And
Yes.
that's the whole thing that I want you guys to have equipped, which is over the next 3 years, my goal for my platform with MoneyFit MD is I've always had this mission to help women physicians have more control over their money without overworking and needing to work extra shifts. And over the next couple of years, my goal is going to be intentional in continuing to build relationships and bring people in here that can help you do that. Position yourself in a way that you're able to start to invest by knowing how to vet people, but also not thinking that you have to go start an extra shift, an extra gig in order to be able to make money. But the only reason you're going to do that is by not hiding in the next 3 years, because you're not going to get invited to our party and you're not going to have money. That's what's
Yeah.
going to happen if you hide.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people get rich in times like this. Historically, when there is a crisis, the people that have the means do better because they have that cushion to start taking advantage of the huge deals that come along. And that's the only way, that's why it's so important to have a fund, to have extra cash, to not spend it all, because then you can take advantage of these things and then it snowballs, right? You start investing in stuff, starts making you more money. You have an even bigger delta, you have an even bigger cushion. And then that's how the rich, the wealthy get stinking wealthy. If they're aware of that, don't spend it all and start reinvesting in assets, right? And speaking of student loans, I want to also mention the company that's affiliated with the White Coat Investor, which is studentloanadvice.com. And again, just like Student Loan Planner, they also give, Andrew does a great job of giving just one time, he can take a look at your loan situation. He can give you just one time a synopsis of what you should be doing, or he can help you long term as well. And again, and I love Travis at Student Loan Planner as well. I think these are assets to our community, man, because thank God these guys know what they're talking about. Because it's so hard to keep up with, thank God they are willing to provide the service to our community, because we need it. There's so much going on. There's so much complexity, and it's okay to outsource, some of this stuff.
100%. And if you're listening and you know any women that have student loan companies, I am actively looking. I've been looking, I've contacted people. I'm like, it's not only, I mean, we love dudes, but it's not only dudes that know about student loans. Where are our women at? So I've been looking. I sent some information out to meet with some people. I didn't get any response back yet. But if you are listening and you know anybody, please reach out to me, Dr. Latifat at moneyfitmd.com. I want to know where the women are. I want to know who the woman is that's helping people slay student loans, because I really want to partner with them to help them reach more of our women physicians, because that's the only way we're going to practice. That's, in my opinion, when we empower women, it's an act of activism, and I'm all about that stuff. So I love that we share the people that we know, and they have women that work with them, obviously, and all the stuff. But I want the CEO of the company that's a woman to make a bunch of money when we partner with them. That's my goal. I don't want them to just make their salary. I want them to make their CEO income. So that's what that's about. That's a little bonus for y'all. Anything we missed? Anything we didn't cover? I mean, we're gonna have you back for sure on the podcast, because this is nothing compared to what we could talk about.
Oh my God, I would love to come back anytime. And I'm going to put it on my calendar and with a bazillion reminders.
I love it. No, this has been so good. Is there anything else that comes to mind you want to share before we say bye-bye and let you enjoy the rest of your life?
Just it's tough. Realize that money and financial planning is not about YOLO versus, fire. It's really not about living for today or tomorrow. It's about living for both. The hard part is finding the balance between being happy today and saving for tomorrow. And, when you are knowledgeable and aware of this conflict and you do it with intention, it is possible to find that balance. And I want you to keep that in mind, because you can live for today and save for tomorrow. Completely possible. We are women physicians. We do it all. We know it all. And we can certainly do this. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming. All right, everybody. Oh, by the way, if someone wants to find you, tell us the name of your blog again, so they can know where to find you.
Absolutely. Okay. You can email me at disha@whitecoatinvestor.com. You can contact me through www.thefrugalphysician.com. I'm also on Instagram at The Frugal Physician, Twitter at The Frugal Physician. I have like one video up on my TikTok. It hasn't made much progress there, but Disha White Coat Investor, editor at thefrugalphysician.com would be the easiest way to reach me. Thank you so much.
So fantastic. All right. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, this has been of value to you. Remember to share this. If it's in the Facebook, you cannot really share, but you can invite people in, physicians only, women physicians only. If it's on the podcast, I want you to share with all the humans, so that they can also be prepared. The whole reason for doing this series is to help equip all of us, whether we're physicians, dentists, whatever it is we do. And the way that we do that is by having you be our hands and feet in the world. And if this has helped you, then I want you to go share with all the humans and also leave us a review so that more humans can find us. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Love you guys. And cheers to being invited to my party in 2025.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.